And with that, welcome to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. It's 6:05 on a Wednesday night. We appreciate you tuning in. My name is Pep Fernandez, and we've got a big show coming your way. We're going to wrap up and put a nice bow on the high school football season that we just completed, this short, abbreviated spring season. We got Temescal Canyon head coach Brian Hildebrand standing by. We'll also check in with the staff at Indian Springs High School. Then we're going to talk a little softball, and I wish I could say I planned it this way, but Ramona High School softball was coming on the show tonight, and I just got a text from their head coach, Laura Shiner, and she said that her star pitcher, who's also coming on the show, Bree Lopez, tossed a perfect game this afternoon. She will join us live. We're fired up about that. And then at the end of the show, we'll also catch up with Citrus Valley girls soccer coach Norma Mendez. The Blackhawks are off to a fantastic start. They are the team to beat now in the Citrus Belt League, and they are taking aim on a very deep CIF playoff run, because we will have playoffs for these Season 2 sports in the spring, including soccer. But we lead things off right now with Temescal Canyon head coach Brian Hildebrand coming off that huge win, big rivalry game against the Elsinore Tigers. And coach, 4-1 in your first season as the head coach in this spring season. Man, it was a good way to come out of the gate. And I know this spring was kind of weird, but man, 4-1, big wins against some rival, schools. How would you kind of shape up how this spring went for the Titans?
I thought it was a successful season for us. We had high expectations going in, and it was a wild ride just getting to the point of having a season. But really proud of the way that our guys played. I thought that they fought and battled every single game, and to come out 4-1 record and to beat your crosstown rival was definitely gratifying.
So you beat Lakeside, and then obviously you beat Elsinore this past weekend. And Johnny, our director, there's a picture of a trophy. I think he's going to bring it up in just a moment. But now you've got, Coach, some bragging rights down in that area, beating those schools head to head. Did that feel pretty good?
It feels really good. Our guys put in the work, and we know that our city and our area is really competitive. And for us to go out and have success, especially against the two Lake Elsinore schools, was really tremendous for our guys. And proud of the way that they competed. And it does feel good to come out with 2 wins in those games.
Now, Coach, is that a rivalry trophy just with Elsinore? What was that trophy? And it looks like it was nice and snug and secure in the front seat of your car after that big win against Elsinore on Saturday. Yeah,
there's a rivalry trophy that goes back to the early stages between Temescal and Elsinore. And in coming into the game, I had all of our players and coaches, letting me know a little bit about it and how much they wanted to bring it back home. And so to be able to win that trophy and have some sort of recognition for winning the game, especially our final game, was great. But, I ended up just putting it in my truck and drove home with it and was able to keep it over the weekend. So now it's in my classroom, and I feel really good for our guys to be able to come by and see it and know that, they were rewarded for all their efforts.
Coach, I'm not trying to be overly dramatic, but in this short spring season with no playoffs, you go into your final game against Elsinore, which is a rivalry game, and especially for your seniors, their last game. I mean, did it feel like maybe like a CIF title game or a playoff game? Like, guys, this is it. This is our last ride. This is it. We're going against a rival. A trophy's on the line. Did it feel like it was, bigger than just a regular season, spring game?
It was a big game. Our guys, all week, I was just telling them that we don't have the opportunity to go to the playoffs, to win a league title, to win a CIF title. And so really, we put it all on the line in this game. And it was a really big moment for all of our players. And we know that it gets magnified with these rivalry games. But at the same time, we wanted to just play football and play our hardest and have a great deal of pride. And I just told them that, they were playing for each other and that they were playing for their legacy as a team. And, my first team here at Temescal Canyon. So was really excited for our guys. And they were definitely feeling the juice after the game.
Well, Coach, how exciting and special, for your seniors to finish up like that, but also maybe for your underclassmen, man, you're just laying the foundation for what could be a very exciting fall for Temescal Canyon. Are you excited about what the future kind of looks like and the experience that your underclassmen got going through this, spring season that we had that's valuable, time on the clock, time on the job that they're learning, getting ready, for what hopefully will be a normal fall football season.
Definitely. We're really excited for all of our seniors. They worked hard and they remained optimistic about a season, and they prepared like we were going to have one for the entire off season and all throughout COVID. But for our underclassmen, bringing back a sophomore quarterback, Koa Pana, and a couple other players that were able to be key contributors, I think that they'll be able to ride a little bit of the momentum into the off season, and it's some extra incentives, some extra motivation for our workouts and 7-on-7s and practices. And then going into the fall, we know that it's a quick turnaround. So I'm really glad that so many guys were able to contribute to our team and experience, I think, some memorable games, some really competitive games against some great opponents.
And Coach, speaking of that quick turnaround, I mean, you haven't even had a normal off season yet as a head coach at Temescal Canyon yet. What do you think this off season is going to look like? Because like you said, you're going to turn right back around, and before you know it, we'll be getting ready for first game in August. Yeah,
we're eager to get to the weight room. We are actually remodeling the weight room and expanding it. So we want to get our guys in there as soon as possible, get into our strength and conditioning and speed and agility phases of the off season. We'll have spring practice towards the end of May, and then we actually just scheduled our first 7-on-7 tournament today. So it's coming quick, but we're excited. I mean, our guys they're football guys, and they want to be around each other and they want to get better. Same with our coaches. So even taking this week off, I think our guys are missing each other, and we want to get back out there.
Well, Coach, you mentioned your quarterback, Koa Apana, who's obviously, he's a stud. He's only a sophomore. Did you have a lot of underclassmen seeing significant playing time this spring that, again, will prove to be valuable as you guys go forward?
Yes, definitely. We had Marcus Frias, who played receiver for us, played a little bit of defensive back, but he's a promising young receiver. Zach Horton played cornerback for us, and Ray LaFontaine is a guy that at the linebacker position scored 3 touchdowns this year. So, we have some talent that's coming back. It's great that we have that quarterback in place and somebody that, in the last game threw 5 touchdown passes and is just starting to get a hang of the offense and learn our schemes. And so we definitely have some talent coming back. And we're just trying to reload at this point and be the most competitive team that we can be and compete at a high level again this summer and this fall.
Well, Coach, finally, I think the first time we spoke was, you got the job at Temescal Canyon, and it was right before the pandemic really set in. And then we talked again when you guys were just starting to ramp up, I think it was late fall, getting close to winter, starting to ramp up with workouts and getting ready for football. I think a lot of coaches would say, 2 months ago, they thought, hey, there's no chance we're going to have a high school football season this spring. But here we are. We got 5 games in. You guys went 4-1. I mean, really, in hindsight, it couldn't have gone much better, right, for Temescal Canyon?
It went well, and every game was a battle. We went out and prepared for everybody like it was our last game, and we had a tremendous amount of respect for everybody that we played, and came out and faced an Ayala team that went 5-0, and they gave us our only loss. But, we beat Orange Vista team, who I believe went 3-1. We beat Vista Del Lago, who won their league, and they went 4-1. And then Elsinore was a really tough opponent, has a talented group, and to come out and to be able to win in the fashion that we did in a game that was back and forth and really a high school thriller. That was awesome to see. And, the main thing was getting our guys out there, getting them on the field, and just trying to do everything we could to ensure they have a season, but then also to be prepared once the opportunity was presented. And that's a credit to our coaches and our staff who put in the Zoom time, we use Microsoft Teams, but all the time with our meetings, and installing a new offense, installing a new defense, and installing all special teams. And, I thought that we played really hard and really well in 3 phases of the game. So it was a great season. I think it's one that I'm going to cherish and that our players are going to remember for a long time. And I think that it's going to be, a good catalyst for the rest of the time that, we have here and for the classes to come. And so, we're really looking forward to building up Temescal Canyon and hopefully, continue to, gain momentum as we move on to the off season and the years to come.
And Coach, I'm glad you brought that up. That was some quality wins, like those schools you mentioned, Orange Vista, Vista del Lago, Elsinore. I mean, those are good quality wins during this spring football season. Coach, I always appreciate the time. You've been so good to us here on the Inland Sports Show about being generous with your time and hopping on here on the show. So we do appreciate it. Congrats on this spring season, and we look forward to see what this fall is going to look like for Temescal Canyon.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Love coming on. And, anytime you give me a call, I'll definitely answer. So thanks a lot, Pep. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. That's Coach Hildebrand from Temescal Canyon. Join us here on the Inland Sports Show. And, Coach, you can bounce now, but real quick, we're going to do our Big Boost Play of the Week. And you might recognize these guys because it comes from the Temescal Canyon game against Elsinore. In fact, Coach hooked me up with the highlight. It was the game-winning touchdown against the Elsinore Tigers with about a minute to play. That stud QB we were talking about, Koa Apana, finding his trusted senior receiver, Trevor Borden, with about a minute to go. As we mentioned, the touchdown there would seal the deal as the Titans come back to pick off the Tigers. Final score in that one, 42-37 in that big rivalry game. So that's our big boost of the week. What a play there to wrap up the high school football season. A big thanks to Coach Hildebrand. We'll take a quick break here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, how about some Ramona softball and a perfect game? We'll be right back on the Inland Sports Show.
What's going on, guys? This is Ray Bass from Boost Performance Training. You're watching the Inland Sports Show with the one and only Pep Fernandez.
Hey guys, it's Pep Fernandez from the #1 sports show in the Inland Empire, the Inland Sports Show. I wanted to let you know about the BASS School. That stands for the Boost Alternative School for Student Athletes. All of us are trying to find a way to get ahead in the classroom and in athletics. If you're a parent, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Wanting to give your son the best opportunity to succeed. BASS is an all-boys private middle school servicing 7th and 8th grade student athletes. They've got unique, customized curriculum for student athletes, individualized nutrition and athletic development, plus rigorous academic development with small class sizes. This is not an online homeschool. This is a private school for students who are serious about their grades and serious about their sports. BASS school enrollment for the 2021-2022 school year begins in January, so don't wait. Lock up your spot today. Visit boosttrainingsystems.com for more information. The #1 sporting goods store in the Inland Empire is Ken's Sporting Goods in Norco. Whether you need new uniforms for the entire team, a Letterman's jacket, or new cleats for the upcoming season, check out Ken's Sporting Goods. Plus, now you can order masks with your favorite team, school, business, and more. Order for your entire team or organization. Visit KenSportingGoods.com for more information and for the latest on the big sales. Make sure to follow Ken's Sporting Goods on Instagram and Twitter. So if you need team uniforms or sports gear, there's only one place to go in the Inland Empire. That's Ken's Sporting Goods.
Guys, and fans are back at Staples Center. The Lakers had fans going back to last Thursday. The Clippers had fans in the stands yesterday for the very first time. And we saw the Clippers beat the Timberwolves 124-105. And it was the return of Kawhi Leonard. He had missed the last 4 games with a sore foot. Kawhi, our guy from King High School in Riverside, 15 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. This guy does absolutely everything for the Clippers. Now, speaking of the NBA draft will be this summer. And here's our local angle. Evan Mobley
the pride of Rancho Christian High School, the star freshman for the USC Trojans, declared for the NBA draft, and there is a good possibility he could go number 1 overall in the upcoming NBA draft. And his brother, Isaiah Mobley, who's a sophomore for USC, he's going to test the NBA draft waters. So he might go back to USC, but he's going to test the NBA draft waters. I mean, those guys could be 2 of the top 5 players, and they're both from Temecula, Rancho Christian High School.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. A huge thanks to Coach Hildebrand at Temescal Canyon. So we wrap up the high school football season, and we just jump right into this season 2 for our spring sports at the high school level. And of course, baseball, softball. We now got basketball and soccer. So it's a very, very busy spring. But traditionally, it is softball season, and one of the best in the Inland Empire joining us here on the Inland Sports Show live. It's Ramona head coach Laura Shiner, and also one of her star players who had a very special day, Bree Lopez, an ace in the circle for the Rams. And first off, Coach, I don't want to bury the lead here, but Brianna Lopez, Bree is so good. She went out, she heard she was coming on the Inland Sports Show, and she tossed us a perfect game today against La Sierra. Is that true?
That is true.
So, Bree, let me ask you, have you ever tossed a perfect game at any level? I mean, a no-hitter maybe, but a perfect game?
Yes, I have. This was my second one. I'm not sure the first team that I threw it to, but yeah, it was my second one today.
And Coach, you know, when she's locked in, do you feel like at the beginning of the game, even maybe in the first inning, like, wow, she's got it going on today. This could be pretty special here.
Yeah, we weren't thinking perfect game, but she was dialed in today, and she was rolling through. Hitting her spots. She was very confident in the circle. And that last inning, my assistant coach and I looked at each other and we're just like, okay, 1 out, 2 out. And then finally, yes, she struck out that last batter. It was exciting.
So, Coach, please correct me if I'm wrong, but is it like baseball if you have a no-hitter going, you don't say anything? Like, does anyone even approach Bree in the dugout and say, hey, by the way, do you know, or you just keep quiet?
So, yes, we don't talk about it. We had an incident a couple weeks ago where someone talked about a no-hitter and the next batter got a base hit. So everybody is well aware. We don't talk about it. Super superstitious about it, and let it happen.
Well, let me go back to Bree here, because Bree, when you're in the circle and you're mowing batters down, you must know, like, hey, I'm rolling along here. Did you know what was going on?
Yeah, I did. One of my teammates actually pointed it out to me, and I had her knock on some wood before I went back out there, and she really looked at me like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "I'm dead serious right now. Please go knock on some wood." And she did, and I just kept the flow going.
Bree, does that make you kind of soak in and embrace the moment? Like, yeah, I'm going to close this out. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling good. Or is it like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I got a perfect game. Like, I'm going to have to I don't want to screw up here.
It goes both ways. Towards the last inning, I was getting a little anxious. I was, really like freaking myself out because I knew I was one batter away. But I really just soak in like the moment. This is my senior year, and I just want to go all out.
Well, Coach, let me go back to you, because recently Bree racked up her 500th career strikeout at Ramona High School. And obviously that number is still growing. It's counting still with her senior season here. What do you think makes her such a special pitcher?
Every year she's gotten stronger and stronger. And she's surrounded by great teammates, and she's a complete team player. And everything she does to make her teammates better. So she goes out there, she puts in the work, and works extremely hard at practice, goes to lessons, does everything she can to make herself stronger, and that makes everybody around her stronger.
Well, Coach, obviously Bree's a big reason why you guys are having such success early on in this season. Your only 2 losses right now are to Norco and Chino Hills, which are 2 of the top teams in the entire country. 10-2 overall, undefeated in the River Valley League. is this a group that you're really excited about in terms of, not only, I guess, you're the front runner to win the league, but, maybe make a deep playoff run here, because now we know we will have playoffs here in the spring?
They're an amazing group. I think not only are they talented, but the team chemistry is probably the best we've ever had. They get along, they enjoy being with each other, and they push each other at practice. They compete every single day. So it's a special group of kids.
And Bree, I was going through the Max Preps numbers. Have you started every single game for Ramona this year? What's it like just knowing, every day when you go out to a game, you're going to be in the circle, the team's going to be counting on you. You're going to give, obviously, the Rams a very good shot to win those games when you're in there.
I always set myself like a new goal for each game. One of the biggest goals that I have is to try to get 10 strikeouts each game. But I just go out there and I have a lot of fun on the field with my teammates. It's always something new. We always crack jokes, and it's just a fun time to be out there.
All right, Coach. Also, correct me if I'm wrong. Is today's win against La Sierra, is that 10 straight shutouts now for you guys? Does that sound about right?
I think so, yes.
And I was going through, too. I don't know what the score was against La Sierra today, but going into this game against the Eagles, you guys had outscored your opponents the last 8 games, 65-0. Like, what's clicking right now? What makes this team so good right now?
I really think the team chemistry. They fight for each other. They cheer each other on. If someone's not getting the job done, they know it's next girl up, and they work extremely hard for each other, and they get excited for each other, and they set goals for each game, and they meet them, and then they set the goal a little bit higher for the next game.
And finally, Bree, as a senior, of course, you want to go out, with a grand senior season. And now we know we will have playoffs for softball this season. What's kind of your goals? Obviously, you guys are in the driver's seat for that River Valley League title, but it sounds like this is a special group that, come CIF time, you guys can string together a couple wins and see, what happens.
The big goal is to get the ring. But, we have to go through league, and then we're just going to take it one game at a time. We're not going to think too far ahead of ourselves. Just, stay calm, and we're just going to fight for that ring.
And Coach is smiling. I think that was the right answer, right? Just worry about who's in front of you. Don't worry about the playoff run, right, Coach?
Exactly. One game at a time. A lot of season left.
So where's the pizza party? I thought you guys were going to a pizza party tonight. Are you maybe just outside the pizza parlor right now at Enzo's? I don't know.
We're just hanging out.
Well, guys, thank you so much. Congrats on a big win and the great start this season for the Ramona High Rams. And Bree, keep up the good work.
Thank you. I will.
Thank you.
All right, Coach Shiner and Bree Lopez here on the Inland Sports Show. Thank you very much, ladies. We appreciate the time. And, the Rams are rolling along right now early on in this season, especially in River Valley League play. Now let's go to our Ken Sporting Goods must-see game this week. As we said, it is baseball season. Riverside Poly and Canyon Springs colliding in Ivy League action. Canyon Springs actually won on Tuesday 2-0 behind a complete game shutout, 10 strikeouts from Edward Alfaro, who is going to take his talents to CBU. Yes, California Baptist University. He's going to play for Gary Adcock. Canyon Springs and Poly playing again tomorrow in Ivy League play as the series continues. Canyon Springs currently in first place in the Ivy League. The Bears trying to get one back, though, on the Cougars. That's our Ken Sporting Goods must-see game. And that segment was brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods since 1976, bringing you all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, sports gear, all the good stuff. We love Ken Sporting Goods. That's kensportinggoods.com online. Another quick break here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, more high school football. In fact, got a little bit of a surprise we're going to announce when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show.
This is Alexander Madison. You're watching the Inland Sports Show.
Calling all athletes. Make sure you're at your very best by training at Boost Performance Training in Corona. Whether you're a football player, soccer player, baseball player, lacrosse, athletes from all sports and all levels train at Boost Performance Training. Led by former Centennial High School football star Ray Bass, you'll develop explosive power, become faster, and add that lean muscle. Don't be left behind and get a leg up on the competition at Boost Performance Training. Visit boosttrainingsystems.com for information on their training programs and also on the Bass School. That's the Bass Alternative School for student athletes. Trying to earn a scholarship? Maybe make the varsity team? Get a spot in the starting lineup? Well, let Boost Performance Training help achieve your athletic goals.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taking care of whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. Customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
The time is now. The Boost Training Center is open for business and ready to help all the athletes across the Inland Empire. Doesn't matter the age or the sport, if you go to Boost Training with Coach Ray Bass, they're going to make you bigger, faster, stronger. So if you're out there looking to train this offseason, talking about all you football players especially, check out boosttrainingsystems.com. That is the website. You can find a strength and speed class just for you this offseason, so you can be even bigger, better, faster, stronger this upcoming season. Give them a call or text at 951-532-4904 to reserve your spot today. Strength and speed training at Boost Training System. And don't forget, enrollment is open right now for the Bass School. That's Boost Alternative School for student athletes. You can check out what they have to offer at boosttrainingsystems.com. That is the website once again, and you can enroll for the 2021-2022 school year. Again, this is not an online school. This is a private school specifically for 7th and 8th grade boys. Check it out today because space is limited.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Inland Sports Show. A big thanks to Ramona softball coach, Coach Shiner, and Bree Lopez tossing a perfect game. So she goes out. Here she's coming on the Inland Sports Show and just tosses perfection today against La Sierra. So very, very cool. Right now, again, we're trying to put a bow on this high school football season, although we will continue that high school football conversation all through the spring, all through the summer, getting ready for what should be a normal fall season coming up. But on the heels of this spring season, man, a lot of teams turned some heads, but one of those teams had a significant spring. That was the Indian Springs Coyotes, and head coach Chris Chaddick is joining us now live on the show. Coach Chaddick, first off, listen, we're going 4 wide right now on the show if you're watching us live. I see you. I see your offensive coordinator, Gary Hedlund, and there's a guy up in the corner on this side. Who is that guy?
That, sir, would be one Vincent Fazio, and I'm glad to have him on the staff. If you know anything about football, that's one of the most respected coaches in the Inland Empire, and we're blessed to have him.
Wait, so what's Coach Fazio doing for the Coyotes?
Coach Fazio is going to be the defensive coordinator and guru of all things. He knows his offense, he knows his defense, and he knows how to win. The man knows how to turn things around. I don't need to be the smartest man in the room. I just need to be smart enough to know that he knows more football. He's forgotten more football than I know. So I'm gonna gladly take him on the staff. You know, hope that Papa Skip comes along and gives us some more Yoda advice, and we're good to go. I'm just trying to be a Jedi. I'm trying to be a Jedi, collecting some Yodas. That's all I'm trying to do.
So the Padawan and then the master, of course. So Vinny, like I didn't know if you were going to go into retirement, hanging out in Dagobah, wherever that is. You just hunker down and go into isolation. But no, you're back. You're doing high school football. Did you miss it? Did your wife give you the green light? Like what happened?
Yeah, it's been a while for me. It's been 18 months since I coached. Last time I coached, we were walking off the field at Ayala in the playoffs. Played Ayala real tough and over at Los Osos. So, 18 months, a pretty long time for me. And Chaddick's been bugging me ever since that night. He's been calling me and bugging me, and I turned him down about 50 times. And then, I figured all of a sudden he bugged me enough that, it's time to come back.
Well, Coach Chaddick, I mean, you got Coach Fazio joining the staff. This last offseason, you brought on Coach Hedlund, who you went through spring ball, obviously, with this year. You're just compiling this all-star team. I was telling you, it's like the Miami Heat or the Brooklyn Nets would be a more current, comparison. But like you said, surround yourself with smart, good people, right?
I'm just trying to collect the infinity stones of coaching. I'm trying to be the Thanos. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to be the bad guy that snaps. I want to create something positive here. And I think with these guys, we're going to have the best coaching staff in all of the county. I'll put us up against anybody. So why not Indian Springs? There's no reason. You're going to get the best coaching in the city of San Bernardino. You're going to get great, some of the best coaching in the county. And you got guys that just know what they're doing. And we're coming off of a springboard season. I don't see why this thing doesn't get better. With Vinny Fazio added to the mix and an already great offensive coordinator, Gary Hedlund, who just took our game to the next level, the sky is the limit. I'm just very, very excited.
Well, Coach, we're looking at some highlights from this season, but I do want to go to Coach Hedlund too. And Coach, you come into a program and maybe you're not sure exactly what to expect. And of course, going into this wacky spring season, who knew what it was going to look like? But you guys go 3-0. The offense looked good. What were you pleasantly surprised with from Indian Springs going through this spring season?
We had a group of guys that really bought in to what we were trying to sell, and those seniors really laid a foundation for what the culture of this program is going to be moving forward, and how quickly they believed in what we were trying to do and how much work and effort they put in. Most of those kids played every single snap, Ironman football, really truly Ironman football. So for those guys to be willing to run through a wall for Coach Chaddick and the rest of our staff, that was very special. So that's what I would say about that, yeah.
Well, Coach Chaddick, you guys go 3-0 in the spring. You win the Mountain Valley League title, beat A.B. Miller head-to-head, winner take all in that game, 22-14. And as Coach Hedlund just mentioned, man, you guys, I forget what you call them, the Mighty Morphin 18 or whatever that name is. But you guys, you had like 18 guys.
The Lean Mean Coyote 18.
Yeah, the Lean Mean Coyote 18. Playing on both sides of the football, Ironman football, like every single step. Your guys are out there. What can you say just about the perseverance and just the heart this team showed to, play a football season with 18 guys and not only just play a football season, but do it very well?
First and foremost, I just thank the guys for their buy-in. Football is a hard game. Football is even harder when you have 18. The last game of the year, it was 18 versus 63. But you know what? You can only put 11 on the field. And our 11 every week, day in, day out in practice, that's where that is where the games are won, or in the practices. Vinny came to a couple of our practices. He'll be able to tell you We practice hard. We fly. We do things the right way. I try to model this program after a college program, and you've got guys that have coached at the college level like Fazio and myself, and know what it takes to get there. As a matter of fact, one of the things I'm most proud of is because we practice the way we've practiced. Not only do we have 2 Coyotes going out on scholarship, we just got 2 more offers, and that is a testament to what we're building here. So we got 4 guys going out, the first guys in school history. And that starts with the buy-in. That starts with how hard these kids work, both on the field, off the field, in the classroom. I'm just proud of them. Couldn't ask for a better group. I'll remember them for the rest of my days.
Coach, I'm glad you brought that up because, we know about Josh Jones and Mario Zelaya, signing the first couple Coyotes to sign college scholarships. Also, Ray Juarez and Daniel Camacho, right, were the other 2 that you just hinted at?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Those guys are doing a terrific job. They're getting ready. They're getting ready to do a little track season right now. Win a league track title too with the great Coach Sun, who's helping us. We try to feed each. That's the other thing about this program here is we feed each other. The wrestling coach, great Coach Kelly, Coach Sun. We just feed each other. So if you're just a dude that wants to be a multi-sport dude and you want to win some league titles and go on to college, come here. I don't see why you don't come here. You got the best coaches in the Inland Empire coaching every sport, not just football. Shout out to John Chamberlain, who's assembling this thing. That's a big reason why Coach Fazio is coming here. Got to meet with Coach Chamberlain, who did his thing. He already had a good relationship with myself and Coach Headland. And it was just a matter of badgering, sometimes perfect example. My beautiful mother of my children said no a bunch of times to me, but I was persistent. Sometimes you just got to be persistent. You know what I mean? I outkick my coverage. I already know, but I outkick my coverage with these coaches too. Sometimes you just got to be persistent. Sometimes personality goes a long way. And hey, I got these guys to come in and do the X's and O's, and they're going to get our Johnnies and Joes right.
By the way, Coach Son is the man. I don't know if he's still in there with you, but he's the man. Coach Fazio, you saw some practices. We did a game live on IEMG against Rubidoux. What gets you excited from what you saw from the Coyotes to be joining the staff and, kind of building what they already have established this spring?
Yeah, I think, I just think it's a really good situation. The way they practice is, and that's so important for me because I know what a good practice should look like. And when I showed up to their practice and saw what Coach had them do, Coach Headland, Coach Chaddick, and the defensive staff really had the guys flying around and practicing hard. The kids understand that expectation, and to have that baseline already established is so big. It really makes things easier to build on. And they had some good key seniors, but they had some good key underclassmen too that are coming back. We're going to be really good in the lines. And I think the buzz, as Coach Chaddick likes to say, is building around the program. We're going to get the kids on campus to come out and I do also want to give credit to John Chamberlain, who I had a relationship with from the past. We played Indian Springs when I was at Ramona, and I remember how professional he was and what a good job he does. And that was something that always stuck in my head. So I just think the sky's the limit, Pep. I really do. Gary Headland and Billy Atlas and Clayton Atlas. Clayton Atlas, I don't know if you remember Clayton from my Carter teams, is going to be on staff. And Clayton is simultaneously one of my favorite players I ever coached and my hero for what he did in Afghanistan and Iraq, with our military. So to be able to work with guys like Gary, guys like Clayton Atlas, guys like Chris Chaddick, to work for a guy like John Chamberlain, it just is it was an opportunity that was there. Just the positives kept stacking up. And I can't wait to get out there and start working with the kids. I think we're going to have a lot of guys to work with. I think hopefully more than 18.
Well, I knew it had to be a great, sweet gig for you, Vinny, because, nothing's going to bring you out of retirement just because. It had to be the perfect gig. You got a luxurious life you're living right now.
Oh, yes. I'm very luxurious, Pep, as you know.
Well, Coach Headland, let me ask you, you guys had good skill position players this past season. Juarez, Camacho, of course, Josh Jones. Those guys were seniors. How do you build that back up again and keep that offense going?
our offensive line was really young. Byron Jones has the potential to be one of the best linemen in the Inland Empire. He played guard for us, did a great job. And then Sal and also Markel are both coming back as well, and they made impact on both sides of the ball as well for the line. Markel, a lot of tackles for loss. Sal had a couple sacks and also played center. So for us, it's gonna start with the run game. I mean, a lot of people could watch the game and say, "Oh, Josh is really fast," and yeah, obviously Josh is a stud, and it's great when he gets out in open space. But the first 5 yards of that was underclassmen blocking really well and opening up holes. So, there's athletes on our campus that will be joining our program, whether it's basketball or soccer, whatever other sport. Like Coach said, sharing those athletes, you put those type of athletes behind kids that want to block and that believe in a system, you can find a way to put up points because culture is what it's all about, and that's what we're trying to build.
Speaking of culture, Coach Chaddick, let me go back to you on this one as we wrap things up here. Obviously all three of you guys love football, but you also love your families, man. Like, you guys are all family guys. You love your wives and kids and whatnot. And Coach Chaddick, when you're out there looking for coaches to bring onto your staff, I mean, I would assume that plays a role in the kind of guys you want to surround yourself with.
Absolutely. First things first, Headland and my son are just like the best of friends. Like, Headland and Jackson just tear stuff up, and I can't wait to add Luke into the mix. It's just gonna be fun. It's fun working with guys that are dads of toddlers and such. And the other thing is, you spend a lot of time away from your family, so you want to spend time with men who are about the family. And we create that environment in our own personal lives and with the kids we coach. We have a saying: "Forget about me, I love you." That's our family. That's the atmosphere we're trying to create here. We're trying to create a culture of family, toughness, love. Sometimes family's got to be tough, and we're tough. Sometimes family's got to be nurturing, and we're nurturing. We're doing all those things. And like before I, you shouted out all my coaches, but two of the big ones, Cordell Brewster and Demonier Williams, those guys got the line right. Those guys are guys that just got done blocking against Alabama and Ole Miss 2 years ago. So I got two of the best young line coaches that are great relationship builders, and that's what all these coaches are. Great relationship builders. And one of the reasons I respect the heck out of Fazio and just love the heck out of some Gary Headland is they're just family men. They're great people. And when you can have great people, the young players can see that the coaches have that mutual respect for each other, so they'll respect each other. It's huge, and that's what we're trying to do. Culture eats strategy for breakfast. We're trying to create a culture that that precedes everything. The culture is bigger than the individual, and we got that going on, and I think that's why we have the coaches coming that we have coming. We'll have a young coach named Marcus Williams joining the staff next year, Division I wide receiver out of New Mexico State. So we're just doing some great things over here. And it's all about the buy-in, and thank God for these kids. They're the platform that started us all, but we're trying to get to bigger places, and we have the staff to do it. We have the administrative support to do it. Thank you, Kristen Bikendova, our vice principal, David Salmon, VP of athletics. We just have a great staff, and if you build it, people will come. There's buzz starting on the campus. I'm getting like 20 emails a day, people trying to, "Hey, I want to play football for you, coach." All right, well, we'll see what happens in spring ball. Let's go.
Well, you guys are three of my favorites. That is 100% true. You guys are doing an awesome thing at Indian Springs. And Vinny, I'm going to lose you in the broadcast booth. That kind of makes me a little sad, but I'll see you on the sidelines.
Yeah, Pep, you always find me. We always seem to find our way back to each other at some point.
Yeah, and it's like every time we get together for a broadcast, there's always something crazy going on behind the scenes. I know we try to make it look all great and professional, and people will
don't tell everybody that, man. Don't give our secrets away. Don't let them know the level of chaos we're operating under.
As long as the viewing experience is good, but behind the scenes, like all heck's breaking loose.
That's right.
But we'll steal you away maybe for some college games.
Yeah, man, we'll do some Valley games or something.
Yes, sir. I think we will. So, Vinny Fazio, Gary Hedlund, and head coach Chris Chaddick join us here on the Inland Sports Show. Thank you so much, guys, and we'll do it again real soon, okay?
Go Coyotes.
Thank you, Coyotes.
All right, thank you, guys. That's Indian Springs football here on the Inland Sports Show. We're going to take another quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk about some girls soccer in just a moment. That segment was brought to you by our good friends at Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. The Bass School is now open. It's a private school for student athletes, 7th and 8th grade. You can check it out at boosttrainingsystems.com. Quick break. When we come back, Citrus Valley girls soccer. We'll be right back.
96.7 KCal Rocks. What's up? It's Patrick and 40. Hey, man, you're watching the Inland Sports Show right here. Make sure you check out Pep, man. It's Inland Sports with Pep, but he's on every Monday and Thursday morning with Sports with Pep, man. You guys rock.
We are the IE. We work hard. In fact, that's the way we like it. We wake up early, we stay up late to get the job done right. That blue-collar, hard-working mentality is the same reason we have so many successful teams and coaches and athletes in the Inland Empire. We never give up. We are a resilient bunch in the IE. Everything we have, we've earned. No excuses. It's this determined attitude is what powers our small businesses, and that's how championships are won. The Inland Sports Team is looking to team up with other like-minded small businesses in the IE. Together, we can grow. We can be bigger and better. If it was easy, everyone would do it. But we're not looking for easy, just looking for an opportunity. Joining the Inland Sports Team could be the opportunity that you've been looking for. The #1 sporting goods store in the Inland Empire is Ken's Sporting Goods in Norco. Whether you need new uniforms for the entire team, a Letterman's jacket, or new cleats for the upcoming season, check out Ken's Sporting Goods. Plus, now you can order masks with your favorite team, school, business, and more. Order for your entire team or organization. Visit KenSportingGoods.com for more information and for the latest on the big sales. Make sure to follow Ken's Sporting Goods on Instagram and Twitter. So if you need team uniforms or sports gear, there's only one place to go in the Inland Empire. That's Ken's Sporting Goods. Hey guys, it's Pep Fernandez from the #1 sports show in the Inland Empire, the Inland Sports Show. I wanted to let you know about the Bass School. That stands for the Boost Alternative School for Student Athletes. All of us are trying to find a way to get ahead in the classroom and in athletics. If you're a parent, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Wanting to give your son the best opportunity to succeed. Bass is an all-boys private middle school servicing 7th and 8th grade student athletes. They've got unique, customized curriculum for student athletes, individualized nutrition and athletic development, plus rigorous academic development with small class sizes. This is not an online homeschool. This is a private school for students who are serious about their grades and serious about their sports. Bass School enrollment for the 2021-2022 school year begins in January, so don't wait. Lock up your spot today. Visit boosttrainingsystems.com for more information.
I mean, they can still win, but they're going to have to win on defense.
Could rest on the shoulders of the senior Wheatley. Instead, they run it to Claiborne, and he gets a few hard-earned yardage.
He fumbled.
And he fumbled.
He fumbled the ball. Cajon got it.
Take over at the 30-yard line. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Gonna get the snap. No, direct snap to Amir Brown. He's ahead. He scores a touchdown for Cajon, and they take the lead, and they may as well take the game.
That was Bradford Evans and the great Vinny Fazio, which you just saw calling that game on IEMG as Cajon came back in dramatic fashion. Best game I saw this spring, 22-19 against Citrus Valley to win their 4th consecutive Citrus Belt League title. Now, as we go to girls soccer, well, the team to beat in the CBL right now is Citrus Valley, coming off a 6-3 win against Cajon. A little bit of payback, I guess, on the girls soccer pitch, with the Blackhawks right now in the driver's seat for that CBL title, and they look like they are built to have a great CIF playoff run because, again, don't forget, soccer is a spring sport for this CIF calendar year. Everything's kind of wacky this year. But here is Citrus Valley head coach Norma Mendez talking a little bit about her soccer background because she was a fantastic player for the Mexican national team, played professionally. Now she's back in the area. She played at Yucaipa High School, but she's back in the area coaching at Citrus Valley, and she has the Blackhawks trending up. Here's Coach Mendez. Now join us here on the show. She is the head coach for the Citrus Valley Blackhawks girls soccer team, Norma Mendez, and we're going to get into her soccer background a little bit because she's had a fantastic career as a player. Now she's a coach and doing big things, of course, at Citrus Valley. Off to a great start this season. And Coach, before we talk about your Blackhawks so far and the great start so far in Citrus Belt League play, and now we know there's going to be playoffs for soccer this spring, which is exciting too. I just wanted to get your soccer background a little bit. You were a fantastic player. You played on the under-20, the U20 Mexican national team. Can you talk about maybe a little bit, just give us a snapshot of what your career was like as a player and some of the places and tournaments you were able to play in?
I tried out for the Mexican national team. Out of 300 girls, they selected 3 girls, and I was one of them. I got the opportunity to go train in Mexico City, where they have their camp, and I then from there made the roster to play for the Mexican youth 20 team. I went to the World Cup in Russia in 2006. From there, I was able to play a few games, quite a few games with the main team, but that was the time where Mexico didn't qualify for the Olympics or to the World Cup. So after that, I decided to play professional soccer overseas. I went and played in 2011 in Sweden for 9 months with Tier IFC. And then from there, I decided, hey, it's time to focus on what I'm going to do next in my next chapter. And coaching was what I love as well. So definitely came back. Coached 5 years at ACA, Arrowhead Christian Academy, and then the opportunity came that Citrus Valley needed a head coach, and I was up for it, and I'm super excited that I made that decision to come at CV because it's been 5 great years for me.
We're talking with Coach Norma Mendez, of course, at Citrus Valley Girls Soccer here on the Inland Sports Show. And Coach, as you're going through, like you were talking about, representing Mexico, playing professionally, did you always in the back of your mind feel like, you know what, when this is all said and done, I'd like to be a coach. Like, I want to stay in the game. I love this too much. I can't give this up.
Yes. I think as a player, when it was time for me to make that big decision on, stepping away, I was looking, what can I do to still be involved, And I think I had some really great coaches, mentors that were like, hey, you have the patience, I think. I think you can, and you have, the experience and you're passionate of what you do. So I think you'd be a great coach and thanks to them, I'm currently now, a full-time coach.
Well, Coach, let's talk about your Blackhawks now because this is a team, 6-3 win against Cajon on Monday night, scoring a lot of goals, first place right now in the CBL. And we know the Citrus Belt League is always ultra competitive. So many great players and coaches and programs right now. What do you think it's going to take to win a CBL title and maybe gain some momentum going into the CIF Southern Section playoffs?
Well, you know what? You said it. It's super competitive, even though you may see our scores, you say, oh, it's a walk through the park for CV. It really hasn't. I have, quite a few parents telling me, almost had a heart attack against Cajon, and it's true. It's one of those where the team, what we have right now is a group of girls where they're super competitive and they don't back down. So in the past where we've gotten scored once, we would kind of let down our guard or kind of give up. Now it's a different mentality. We get scored on, we need to score back, right away. So super competitive group of girls that we have. Like I tell the girls, our target on our backs gets bigger and bigger. We ended the round undefeated. That's one of our goals, to finish undefeated, get first place. But we know that anything could happen. It's whoever shows up to play is going to win. And to be honest, it's just one of those where, as a coach, I'm just motivating, keeping my players healthy so they can be well prepared for game time.
Hey, Coach, finally, is it exciting knowing that you have, such a good team this year, that now that we know there's going to be a playoffs here in the CIF for this spring, because we weren't sure for a while, but now we got, the approval that, hey, team sports, we're going to have a playoffs. I mean, that's exciting, I would think, as a head coach. Like, gosh, I've got a really good team this year, and I think we could go pretty far. Now we've got a chance to see how deep can we go in CIF. Is that exciting?
Oh, yeah. When I announced the news to the girls, they jumped up in the air like, yes. But just like I've said it before, we have to take it game by game. We can't, think about playoffs. We still have another round, another 6 games left to play. So it's just 5 games, I mean. So it's just one of those where, yes, that's in the back of our mind, but we really can't focus on that just yet until we get the job done. And it's, tomorrow, which would be Rev, that's one step closer to reaching our goal, which is playoffs.
But Coach Mendez, I want to thank you for your time. Congrats on the great start, but I know you guys have big, big goals the rest of this season. And hopefully we can do this again soon, as you guys are hopefully taking aim on that CBL title and further as we get ready for the CIF postseason.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for your time.
You got it. That's Norma Mendez, the head girls soccer coach at Citrus Valley High School. Join us here on the Inland Sports Show. And a big thanks to Coach Mendez for that interview. Also, big thanks to our other guests tonight, Ramona Softball, Coach Shiner, and Bree Lopez, who tossed a perfect game today just for us on the Inland Sports Show. Indian Springs football, we appreciate their time, and Temescal Canyon football as well, and their head coach, Coach Brian Hildebrand. Always appreciate everyone making time for the Inland Sports Show on Wednesday nights. And the biggest thanks of all going to our director behind the scenes, Johnny Nunez here at Teen Vision TV 16, for keeping us afloat each and every Wednesday night at 6:05 p.m. My name is Pep Fernandez. Be safe. God bless you. We'll see you again next week for your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.